Okay, so first off, I'd like to start off by asking the audience some questions. So how many of you guys consider yourself having perfect vision? Okay, cool. And how many of you guys want to know if you have perfect vision or have any like visual aids, but you catch yourself looking like this when you're trying to read something? Okay, fair amount. So, but it's okay. It's safe to assume that everyone has reached some point in their lives and realize your eyesight wasn't as clear as it was used to be. It's okay because in order to address the issue of eyesight, I will be helping you understand the cause of why or how eyesight changes and what options there are to help. So yes, today I will educate you guys on maintaining perfect vision. So, what is perfect vision? Perfect vision can also be defined as having 20/20 vision, which is the expression of your ability to see from a distance. The term 20/20 vision originated from 1862 and was discovered by a Dutch ophthalmologist named Herman Schellen, who is also infamously known for making the eye chart, right here where everybody takes exams and stuff. And the purpose for making the eye chart is to check for visual acuity or accuracy. So to break down the term 20/20 vision, the first 20 in 20/20 means the distance you should be reading the eye exam at. And that indicates, so that's basically where you start reading from. And the second 20 indicates the size of the letter, which is perceived as perfect vision. So 20/20 is right here. So this, if you're able to read this from a distance at 20 feet, you are considered having perfect vision. And if you can read smaller letters, that means you have better than perfect vision. So it can also be considered as 20/15 vision. And a research from the University of Iowa Health and Clinic discovered by ophthalmologist Dr. Johnson found that only 35% of all adults have 20/20 vision without any visual aid or treatments. Okay. So there are many indicators that can help you understand and help your eyesight. Things to be aware of when having 20/20 vision is being able to see clearly all day, being able to see like single rather than double, the most basic. You can read without getting a headache. You can follow words on a page without losing pace, and you could read without wanting to fall asleep. So in order to get a better understanding, we need to understand how the eye works. So there are four terms to understand. So when you're how vision is perceived, light actually enters through the cornea, which is right here, and goes through the lens, and information is transmitted through the retina that produces electric signals that gives information to your brain. The problem is, in most cases, that with people that don't have perfect vision, is that these parts of the eyes, the cornea and the lens and the retina, they are constantly like being strained, and they lose their elasticity. That also affects their function and their vision. But it also comes with old age too, when worsening vision. So, how can you improve and maintain your eyesight? what are the alternatives actually? So the alternatives for maintaining eyesight is you can have glasses or contacts, which is the most common alternative. The purpose of glasses and contacts is to help you allow certain amount of lights to enter your eyes and to focus in certain parts of your retina that you are lacking. And another form is considering LASIK or eye surgery. In this case, it's more for severe cases. It can also help like genetic formations in your eyes. It's in a wig procedure that adjusts the retina and actually like scrapes the cornea and lens to receive to help vision. And another alternative is natural alternatives actually. So it's mostly like leafy greens and actually like very few fruits like strawberries and such. These help your elasticity, your growth of elasticity and improve function. Okay. So in conclusion, in order to maintain or improve perfect vision, one must be aware of the signs and stay observant. Another should be knowing what to do when addressing the issue, like going to a doctor or consider yourself checking for an exam, and understand how your eye works and what parts you can do to improve. And just look for other alternatives. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Kayla, what did you think?
I thought it was good. I liked the beginning, how she made us laugh, and then she had a clear thesis statement, and it was to educate us on maintaining perfect vision. And she had two good, strong points. One point about what perfect vision was, and then another point on how to have perfect vision. And I thought she had good visual aids. There wasn't too many. Something she could have improved on was reading the cards that she had less and engaging more with the audience. But I thought overall it was pretty good.
Okay. Sure, if you want to applaud her, that's fine. She did a good job. I'd agree with almost everything that she said. I thought that I liked the opening pretty well. I think the preview needs to be a little bit more complete. I could tell what the organization was because you've got a title card as you go into each section, which is basically a question, so that wasn't going to be hard, but it didn't feel like that was as clear at the beginning of the speech. I like the attention device. I thought that worked pretty well. There's supporting material that you use on the individual points that you cited, at least for the first point. Later on, I didn't hear quite as much citation of information, and you might want to be a little bit more consistent about that. I think that you needed a little bit more explanation on the changes that take place in people's eyes. When you have that one visual up there that shows us the functioning of the eye, and then you mention, in these 4 different places there are changes that take place, but I don't know what any of those changes are. I don't know why they occur, and I don't know how any of the things that you're going to subsequently talk about affect those sorts of things. Ultimately, you say that they affect those kinds of things, and go, well, so what are they doing? They're changing the distance between the lens and the the retina. They're changing the amount of light that comes in, like you talked about. I don't quite get how all those things work because I didn't know what all of those problems were in the first place. I think they're clearly connected, but it's, like I said, a little bit less clear what the sources of the problems are. And I'm not exactly sure. Where do I insert the carrots and the spinach in my eye to make them work better? Or is that something I'm supposed to consume? You know, because it strengthens something in the eye or something along those lines. So when you get to those natural alternatives at the end, I assume it's got something to do with either maintaining the clarity of the lens or strengthening the retina, or something like that. But I don't really know because I didn't really know what those original problems were, and I don't know how those things directed. That doesn't mean that they don't work. I just don't know as much about how they work. I did think that you had a very clear explanation on the eye chart that you explained. I thought that was pretty effective. I think that's one of those things that everybody's heard about and nobody really understands. And I think they got a much better understanding as a result of what you did today. So I thought that was a good choice. Could it be better delivered? Probably. A little more practice, a little more polish, a little more engagement. I didn't think that you were overly dependent on the notes, but you do read a bit. And like I said, I'd agree with Kayla that you're doing a pretty good job, but everybody can do better. See, and that's kind of what we're after. I'm happy to give you praise for the stuff that you guys do. Nobody ever hears that kind of stuff, even though I've said it. You go back and listen. There, I said positive things about everybody's speeches. All that anybody remembers is the negative kind of stuff. That's because those are the things that you ought to be working on. So that's basically where you are. That's what you need to work on. All right, thank you.